Welcome back, friends. Welcome back to the homestead and the final video in my passive solar greenhouse build series. This is about putting the finishing touches on and insulating the greenhouse. So here I am putting the edging strips on. They're called wind edges in Latvian, with using metal roofing fixtures. And here's the other end done as well. They're all cut to size. Next, we need to start the insulation process. So I use some spray foam to seal up all the edges inside, which was an interesting experience and a little bit messy, but it did the trick. So all the internal edges here at the bottom of the roof and to the sides of the roof, we sealed all those up. And then to put the insulation in on the ground, insulation was put in just below the level of the greenhouse, and to stop any moisture coming up from the ground, I used a plastic strip, which is actually lawn edging strip, which works perfectly well, really well for this actually. And then I put the first layer of the panels, rock wall panels, and then I used a ground mulching fabric to hold them all up and staple them in. So this is not any kind of moisture barrier or anything like that. It's just purely to hold up the panels. And it does happen to be black, which I guess does attract some kind of level of, this soaks up the sun's rays as well, but that's coincidence more than anything else. So obviously this area is a bit more fiddly. Final couple of panels for the insulation, spray insulation, and then the west end of the greenhouse. And then we can put the top layer of panels in, and obviously where there are small gaps, cut some strips to fill those up, and then put the rest of the mulching material up. And that's the majority of the back wall all done now. Just a bit fiddly around the control box, of course. So next is onto the door, which I wanted obviously nice and neat as possible, because the door, there's a lot of movement in the door. So we use that fabric to really pin it in tight and look quite neat.
Okay, so today I'm
the rock wall is really easy to work with actually.
To the roof. I've done this as the kind of demo to work out how I want it to work and bring my ideas together. So basically, gravity's working against me, obviously. So I need to strap these in, and then we'll put the palaver over the top, this film. This is just cotton strap, which I saw a tape. I'm restricted by what I can get here really in Latvia, but I got this. I probably could buy it locally, but I found it on Amazon. But so it's cotton strap. I can screw that in. I can staple it in, and then on each purlin, I'll put this across, which I can then screw up into the purlin to hold it tight in the centre. And then I'm just going to do that along. This is a bit awkward here because I've got a purlin here, right where the join of the insulation will be, so I need to work something out. You'll see how I do that. I'll think about it and then work it out, but we'll work our way along, and then we'll probably do the top layer because we need to navigate some tomatoes as well. today I'm going to do the ridge core, as it is in Latvian. Now, this has been the Achilles heel in the project since I started. I really didn't know how to solve the problem of doing the ridge because of the odd angles where the polycarbonate meets the roof. Non-standard angles. Latvia doesn't really do non-standard very well. That's not particularly fair, but in terms of roofing it is. There's a set number of products, and if you wanted anything else, it's a bit difficult because I needed something that would hug the polycarbonate tightly and hug the roof tightly as well. And standard ridge metal pieces wouldn't do that. It's actually a piece that I put over the fan is an old piece of the ridge that's left over from the house project. When you've got the angles perfectly meeting like that, then the standard ridge metal is fine because you can screw it down on both sides. You can't screw it down on this side because of the polycarbonate, so it would stick out like that, which is not helpful. And then yesterday, when I was, my solutions were quite elaborate and going to take me a long time, and I was dreading it. And last night I looked at the ground and there was the offcut of the, we call it a wind siding here, but it's the piece that I put down the side of the greenhouse to stop the wind coming sideways, and that is an odd angle. It's not designed to go on the ridge, but I offered it up and it's perfect. It fits absolutely perfectly, and I was kicking myself for not thinking about it earlier really. So this morning I've been out and I bought some sections of the what's called edging to go on the ridge. The only slight challenge is where the polycarbonates join and you've got the joining strip. This has to ride over that, and I still want this to hug tight. So what I've done is I've measured it, I've cut some couple of slits with tin snips, and then with a pair of pliers and a bit of cardboard, I've very gently moved and fiddled about and cut this so it perfectly goes over that joining strip. So now hopefully we can go on and get these put on, and I've got to clamber up on the roof to screw them down, but they won't need screwing down this side. They'll fit nice and tight to the polycarbonate, so that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, here we are back in the pastel greenhouse. Work stopped a while ago. I simply ran out of time. You can see that I got this window all insulated, and it works nicely. I didn't get the others done. I got all the rest of the walls done, and the wall behind me. Oops. The western wall all done. So, and we got most of the barrels in, but couldn't get a full wall. It's now November the 19th. No, November the 20th. Last night, it went down to about -8, 9. I need to check the logger, and I'll put that on the screen. And that was the breaking point, really, for the frost came in and has finished off what hadn't already been finished. In fact, some plants are still alive. Just looking at there, that one at the top is still growing. So I stopped watering them ages ago because I wanted to force the fruit to come. So I was expecting them to die anyway because of not being watered. But most of last night has finished most of them off. Bearing in mind the other greenhouse, the first frost that came along, it was late, but the first frost, it was gone. Everything was gone. So that could have been early September, and this has lasted, it could have lasted another couple of months. Right into, we're now past mid-November. So it's done incredibly well for here in Latvia. I would call that a success, even though I couldn't get everything finished, as you can see. next year we'll be on top of it. We've got the mainstay of the project done, and I think I always said from the start that I wasn't sure that I'd get it all done in this year because of life and everything like that. But here we are. So, what else did I want to say? I hope you've enjoyed this series on the passive solar greenhouse. There'll be obviously lots more. Although the growing season is finished, I've still got a couple of videos to be done about did I succeed in ticking those boxes of what I set out at the beginning of the project in terms of those 8 key principles, and how much did it cost. So I need to work all that out and do a video on that, and you'll see that in due course. So, but I hope you've enjoyed this build series of videos, and I'm sorry this last one kind of got cut short, but that's life. And stick around, like I say, for other videos and the other stuff that we're doing over winter. But that's really kind of it for this year. Thank you for joining us on this series. Thank you for your comments and criticisms. They've been really helpful, actually. The whole thing's been a massive learning curve for me. So, and to have you guys on board as well, that's great. So I'm just going to say bye for now. And let's look forward to next year's growing season, which actually starts very soon. In a couple of weeks, I'll start planting my onions, sowing my onion seeds, and then we'll do it all again next year. What do you say? So bye for now. Thanks again, and see you in another video very soon.